Muhammad Ali, born Cassius Marcellus Clay Jr. on January 17, 1942, in Louisville, Kentucky, didn't just rise to fame, he shattered barriers, redefined greatness, and became a global symbol of courage, defiance, and charisma. Growing up in Louisville's segregated West End, Ali faced the harsh realities of Jim Crow from a young age. His father, Cassius Sr., a sign painter with a fiery personality, filled their home with stories of racial injustice, while his mother, Odessa, a gentle homemaker, instilled quiet faith and resilience. These contrasting influences shaped a boy who learned to navigate a world that often rejected him. At 12, a stolen red Schwinn bicycle became the catalyst for his destiny. Furious, Cassius marched to a police station, where officer and boxing coach Joe Martin saw his spark. Martin's challenge, "If you want to fight, learn how to fight," led Ali to a local gym, where he began honing a style that was fast, unorthodox, and electrifying. By his mid-teens, he was a prodigy, winning national Golden Gloves titles in 1959 and 1960, his footwork and confidence setting him apart in amateur rings across America. At 18, Ali's brilliance went global at the 1960 Rome Olympics. As a light heavyweight, he dazzled with speed and swagger, outclassing Poland's Zbigniew Peterzakowski to claim gold. His charm, witty, brash, and infectious, won over crowds, but back home, the victory was bittersweet. Ali later recounted being denied service at a Louisville diner, his Olympic medal dangling around his neck. Whether true or embellished, the story that he threw the medal into the Ohio River reflected his growing disillusionment with a country that celebrated his talent but denied his humanity. This moment fueled a fire that would soon blaze beyond the ring. In 1964, at 22, he shocked the world by defeating Sonny Liston, a seemingly invincible heavyweight champion. Liston, a brooding ex-convict with a devastating punch, was favored to crush the young Clay. Instead, Ali's speed, taunts, and relentless jabs overwhelmed Liston, who quit after 6 rounds. The victory made Cassius Clay the heavyweight king, but it was only the beginning of his transformation. Days after the fight, Ali announced he'd joined the Nation of Islam and changed his name to Muhammad Ali, rejecting his slave name. This bold move stunned America. The Nation, led by Elijah Muhammad and associated with figures like Malcolm X, was viewed as radical and divisive. Ali's embrace of it made him a target, media called him a traitor, and some fans turned away. Yet he stood firm, saying, "I am free to be who I want to be." His friendship with Malcolm X deepened his resolve, though their bond fractured when Malcolm split from the Nation in 1964. Ali's defiance grew louder in 1966 when he refused the Vietnam War draft, citing his religious beliefs and moral opposition. "I ain't got no quarrel with them Viet Cong." In 1967, convicted of draft evasion, he was stripped of his title, banned from boxing, and sentenced to 5 years in prison, though he remained free on appeal. At 25, at the height of his powers, Ali sacrificed his career for principle, becoming a global symbol of resistance. During his 3.5-year exile, Ali's voice grew stronger. Barred from the ring, he spoke at colleges, debated war supporters, and became a beacon for the civil rights and anti-war movements. Financially strained, he took acting roles, appeared in a Broadway play, and fought exhibition matches to make ends meet. His charisma, sharp, funny, and unapologetic, kept him in the spotlight. He recited poetry, predicted fight outcomes, and challenged America's conscience, saying, "I am America. I am the part you won't recognize." In 1970, public sentiment shifted, and the Supreme Court overturned his conviction on a technicality, freeing him to return. His comeback began with a win over Jerry Quarry, but the stage was set for a monumental clash, the 1971 fight of the century against Joe Frazier at Madison Square Garden. Ali versus Frazier was more than a boxing match, it was a cultural flashpoint. Ali, the outspoken draft resistor, faced Frazier, a working-class champion seen as the establishment's hero. Both undefeated, they fought for the heavyweight title and bragging rights. Ali's taunts, calling Frazier an Uncle Tom, added personal venom to the rivalry. In a brutal 15-round battle, Frazier's left hook floored Ali, handing him his first loss. Yet Ali's refusal to stay down, rising with a swollen jaw, showed his heart. The loss only fueled his hunger. In 1974, he faced Frazier again, winning a gritty decision, setting up their legendary third fight, the Thrilla in Manila, in 1975. In sweltering heat, the two traded punishing blows for 14 rounds. Ali's relentless will broke Frazier, whose corner stopped the fight. Ali later said it was the closest thing to dying he'd ever felt, a testament to their mutual ferocity. The pinnacle of Ali's career came in 1974 against George Foreman in Zaire, the Rumble in the Jungle. Foreman, a 25-year-old wrecking ball, was favored to destroy the 32-year-old Ali. Instead, Ali unveiled his rope-a-dope strategy, leaning on the ropes, absorbing punishment, and letting Foreman tire himself out. In the 8th round, Ali struck, knocking out Foreman to reclaim the heavyweight title. The fight, set against Zaire's vibrant culture and promoted by Don King, was a global spectacle. Locals chanted, "Ali, Bomay. Ali, kill him," embracing him as a hero of the African diaspora. The victory wasn't just a sporting triumph, it was a cultural moment, cementing Ali as a symbol of black pride and resilience. Ali's charisma made him larger than boxing. His poetry, "Float like a butterfly, sting like a bee," and bold predictions, like calling the exact round of a knockout, turned press conferences into must-see events. He was a showman, mocking opponents with rhymes and outwitting reporters with his wit. But his outspokenness drew hate. The boxing establishment, much of white America, and even some black leaders criticized his ties to the Nation of Islam and his anti-war stance. Yet Ali never softened his edges. His defiance inspired figures like Martin Luther King Jr., who praised his courage, and anti-war activists who saw him as a moral compass. He wasn't perfect. His treatment of Frazier, whom he often insulted, showed a ruthless side, but his flaws made him human, not a myth. The physical toll of boxing mounted in the late 70s. Fights against Foreman, Frazier, and others left scars. Ali's once dazzling speed slowed, and early signs of Parkinson's disease appeared, though he fought on. In 1978, he lost the title to Leon Spinks, a novice, but won it back later that year, becoming the first three-time heavyweight champion. By 1980, a loss to Larry Holmes exposed his decline, and a final defeat to Trevor Berbick in 1981 ended his career. His record, 56 wins, 5 losses, 37 knockouts. Diagnosed with Parkinson's in 1984, Ali faced a new fight. The disease slowed his speech and hands, but his spirit remained unbroken. He became a global ambassador, advocating for peace, supporting charities, and meeting world leaders like Nelson Mandela. In 1996, Ali's trembling hands lit the Olympic flame in Atlanta, a moment that moved the world. Despite Parkinson's, he traveled, raised funds for the poor, and promoted unity. In 2005, President George W. Bush awarded him the Presidential Medal of Freedom, calling him the greatest of all time. Ali starred in films like The Greatest, 1977, inspired documentaries like When We Were Kings, 1996, and left a mark on music and literature. His influence reached beyond sports. His draft refusal shifted public opinion on Vietnam, and his unapologetic black identity empowered generations. He showed athletes could be more than entertainers, they could be voices for change. When Ali died on June 3, 2016, at 74, tributes poured in from presidents, athletes, and ordinary fans. His funeral in Louisville drew thousands, a final testament to his universal appeal. Ali's life, from a stolen bike to Olympic gold, from a brash young champion to a trembling elder statesman, was a masterclass in courage. He faced racism, government persecution, and a crippling disease with the same defiance he brought to the ring. His famous boast, "I shook up the world," wasn't just about beating Liston in 1964, it was about challenging every system that tried to define him. Ali wasn't flawless, his taunts could cut deep, and his loyalty to the Nation of Islam stirred controversy, but he was fearless. His legacy isn't just in titles or knockouts, it's in the way he showed the world what it means to stand for something, to fight for it, and to never back down, no matter the cost. Ali's impact endures in every athlete who speaks out, every activist who defies power.